6 to 7 times as much for a non-resident to park at their facilities as a resident. And I didn't think that was fair, but I noticed when we go down to the town of Southeast parking lot, there's many commuters from Connecticut. Connecticut doesn't pay anything towards that parking lot. If the town of Southeast owns the parking lot, can we raise the fares, the parking passes for non-residents?
That's an excellent point, Abe, and I have been negotiating with the MTA folks about that. In Southeast, we do have a dual system. We charge out-of-towners a little more than we charge residents, but I had sought to double I had sought from the MTA, who has to grant permission, they have, by means of contract, for rate increases. I sought to double it on out-of-towners. They wouldn't allow that, but they did allow a 20% enhancement. So that's what we're going to go forward with this year.
The last part is commercial development. Now, you on the podium have a much better sense about this than I do. When we commercially develop an area, since I've been here, Home Depot, there's a nursing home, Mount Ebo, have all been built. Does that provide us additional revenue, or does that in fact cost us more money?
The belief is, which I share, is that commercial development is a net gain. In other words, the equivalent of a profit center for our community. And there are some major projects which may come through next year. We had a major project come through about 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago, which has helped, where this increase would be greater, but as proposed. But that alone does not offer a short-term solution for a 10% increase, tax increase for 2011.
But we don't want to have this meeting next year also with another 10% increase of the year after. I'm looking towards the long term. What I've heard Councilman Gross say, I fully agree with. If the stock market went down, the retirement system, you have to contribute more. Health insurance costs obviously have to be cured, but you're under a mandate. What I'm looking for, if people don't want to pay more in taxes, then we have to get additional revenues to fund the expenditures. If commercial development is that way, and if it fits into our environment, I think that's an area where the group should concentrate. Thank you.
Abe. Abe, I agree. Our seniors are hurting, as noted. There are folks who are unemployed. There are folks who are facing foreclosure. 2 bond votes were defeated, which were smaller than this proposed increase per household. We need to rein in spending.
Could I make one comment on the commercial end that you were talking about? Southeast has been the engine of Putnam County for quite some time, the Route 22 corridor and so forth. Brewster Honda is the #1 sales tax source for Putnam County, and that's going to be expanding. State Line was approved earlier in the year.
3-2.
Yeah.
It was approved.
Right.
Two people voted against them.
There are projects online that, going through zoning and so forth and so on, will really be a shot in the arm. The Meadows has a projection of 100 houses. Now, the only thing about that is with houses come children, which impacts the school district. But there is a lot of growth potential. We are in a very good location. That's why our taxes are the lowest in Putnam County. And I hear the concern about the percentages. It's still the lowest in Putnam County. So there's a reality check there. But believe me, we have a good future. Things are improving. The stock market is improving. And so in 2012, retirement contributions will go down. So 2011 is the pivotal year as far as I can view it.
Yes, ma'am. Welcome.
Good evening. My name is Rosemary Kelly. I'm the president of Reed Farm. I am responsible for the budgets in Reed Farm. I'm an international tax professional. I did a budget for Verizon headquarters in Stamford before they moved. And there is always a little bit of fluff in a budget. To tell this town that you're going to increase taxes by 10% is utterly outrageous. You need to go back to the drawing board and make this reasonable. Yes, you probably do have to raise taxes a little bit. We increased ours by 2%. There's some people here from Reed Farm, they will definitely back me up that we have the lowest common charges in Putnam, the lowest. And that's because we work at keeping our numbers down. You're talking to the wrong person to tell me that you can't reduce taxes. At least it should be a single digit, and if you could cut it by 50%, even 5% is still too much, but 10% is just utterly outrageous. You should be ashamed of yourselves to present this to all these people here. I happen to be a senior citizen, and there's a lot of seniors here, and we cannot afford it. You will be driving us out. So we're all going to leave and go to Florida or North Carolina, and guess what? You're going to be in tough straits in about 5 more years.
Thank you. Thank you, Rosemary. And I value our seniors because, for many reasons, but I agree with you that this 10% proposed tax increase is too much.
And may...
Do something about it.
Well,
all of you combined, all of you cooperate. You don't cooperate with each other. You need to cooperate. 10% is too much. Do you hear what people are saying? You must hear them. You have to listen to us. Do you want us all to move? How many people in New York, seniors, have moved? Do you think that hurts? Absolutely. You'll be looking for 20% next year. There's a lot of seniors living in Brewster. A lot of us. And we simply can't do it. Gas is now over $3 a gallon. Milk, everything we need. No increases in our Social Security. I'm a widow and raised 6 children and a daughter who wasn't walking. Got all my degrees, everything. Believe me, I know what I'm talking about. You have to listen. Listen to these people and do something for them.
Rosemary. Thank you, Rosemary.
You should have liked me. I run as good as they can. Yes. Run next year.
You know, I would just like to encourage people like Rosemary, who just spoke, to once again look at the budget, come to us before. Well, no. What you need to do is, instead of coming here on budget night, when we're going to be adopting a budget, come to us before then. Look at this budget. Look at it. It's online. And then you come to us and you give us your ideas before tonight. Because it's easy for everyone to sit here and rail against 9% tax increases. I understand that. But what I would encourage you all to do is to look at these budgets and look at the actual paper and then come to us and say, this is what I think you should do. But don't do it on budget night. Do it before, because that's what we need from you, all of you, and you who aren't here. You come here to us and you say to us, I don't think that I want that. Right now, what you're saying, in effect, is that we would then not have the library or the museum. I did not, and I would love to hear from you before tonight, Rosemary, but I did hear from a lot of people who kept on saying and writing emails that they wanted that museum, that they wanted that library, that they need other things. So I would encourage you all, instead of just simply coming tonight, to start earlier. We put these budgets, the supervisor had put his budget online back in September. And at that point in time, it's... Well, no, but you know something? There's a possibility, Rosemary, that we could have pleased you and the other members who are sitting in the audience if we heard your voice. If we know that you could have come and then just let us know. That's what I'm saying to you. Come and engage in the process before tonight, because otherwise we don't have the ability to please these people.
Then let's defer the vote tonight. Let's have a special meeting on Saturday. Let's give folks an extra couple of days and see if we can split the baby, figuratively, as an analogy, and come up with a sharply reduced proposed tax increase or a 0% tax freeze. This gentleman preceded you, sir. Please use the microphone.
I have an agreement from the gentleman.
Thank you.
I have presented a petition signed by 48 people, so please don't tell us that we don't talk about anything. The petition was presented here 2 meetings ago by 48 people demanding no tax increase. You people didn't listen at that time. You're not listening now. That's the problem.
Thank you. Yes, sir.
Hi, I'm Greg Azzaretti. I have a little less of a emotionally charged statement to make. Just a couple comments that I wanted to make based upon the comptroller's report and just the historical trend in this town. One of the things in the comptroller's report that stuck out to me the most, that I found the most shocking, was the kind of the abuse of the unexpended fund balance of the town. Something that was across the board. Just some numbers I wanted to make. In the last 2 years, and I'm not trying to single you out at all, Supervisor Wrights, but this is something that you've stated multiple times tonight, and pretty much every meeting I've ever been to, you love to restate, that your first proposed budget was a 10% decrease in taxes, and last year was a 0% increase in taxes. However, through looking at the budgets of 2009, 2010, and your proposed budgets of 2009, 2010, not the adopted ones, it seems like those tax decreases or freezes were kind of made up through using the fund balance, more or less. Specifically, in 2010, you even noted in your introduction that you were using the fund balance. In 2009, your proposal had over $800,000 in fund balance being proposed use, which is then less in the adopted budget. Now, I agree with everyone that we don't need a sharp increase in tax. However, based upon the history of what's been going on, it's something that, instead of being a minor cut, has turned into a huge wound now. Because our unexpended fund balance is next to nothing, thanks to the town board spending it continually every year to make up for the fact that they didn't want to increase taxes. So now we have a larger increase in taxes to make up for services that we need in the community because we don't have the money to make up for it. Well, I know, I agree we need to cut these services. I agree on that, but there's certain services. Sir, no, I totally agree with you, Mr. DeSalendro. I know, but what I'm trying to say is that the fiscal irresponsibility of this town board is not something that's just happening this year. It's not happening tonight. It's something that's been going on for a long time. And just how Councilwoman Hudak just said, this is something we all need to be involved in. We all need to be. I love the amount of people that are at this meeting tonight. I wish it was like this every single meeting. I wish the anger that's in this crowd was here every single meeting, because then things like this wouldn't happen. Now, another comment I wanted to make, since Supervisor, again, you like to repeat this over and over again, that you understand the pain that's going on in this town, and you understand the sacrifice people make. However, in your proposed tax freeze, which is actually a tax increase, it's just the revenue is the same, but the tax percentage has increased.
No, sir. The amount to be raised by taxes was
our
dollar for
CPA
dollar.
actually said that. So
The same. Yeah.
you love to talk about this pain. However, this year, just how every budget you proposed, you gave yourself a raise. And it wasn't, you did. Don't say you didn't, because you did. It's on the website. It's on your proposed budget. You did, and it wasn't until in the town board meeting it was brought up that the next preliminary budget that was made by Councilwoman Hudak, Councilman Gross, and Councilman Cullen, that the salaries went down. So I think it's really disingenuous for you to stand here and say you understand the pain that's going on, the sacrifice this town needs to make when you give yourself a raise, when you're firing people and you're trying to destroy departments. I mean, you can sit there and shake your head all you want. You really can. But you're lying to the town.
No, sir. There was
So are you saying, yes or no, are you saying you didn't give yourself a raise this year?
Greg, for department heads, there was 0% raises for all department heads. I'm a department head.
Are you in the union?
There was a 2% proposed initially raise for personnel, and my secretary, our town board secretary, it fell into that, and that was the difference. But please go ahead.
All right. Well,